lie. I be rolling with you, mommy, I be feeling the motion. When I'm inside you, I be deep as the ocean. When it comes to your love, can't lie, it be strong as a potion. That's why me and you forever be coasting. Let's roll. Co-pilot on the passenger side, be so fly. Yeah, she so lit, we so high. Just me and my chick, yeah. Just me and my chick, yeah. Co-pilot.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Ra1, and we're back with another one, man. Y'all know each and every week I get up here and I talk to some of the world's most interesting people. And y'all know tonight I'm going to do the same thing again. But yo, before I get started, just like I do each and every week, I got to give thanks. Give thanks to all the people that download the audio version of this podcast, yo. Because without y'all, I wouldn't be getting ranked like I do. So I really appreciate y'all. Like I say, you know, it's a thing for people to see you, visually see my guests and, you know, get that whole vibe. Like we already know what it's like to attack more than one sense at the same time. We know that that's extra stimulation, right? But it's something that's to be said when people literally go look for you each and every week just to hear what you got going on, as well as hear the conversations with the people that you talk to. Because, you know, I feel like, and this is not me bragging, I'm just saying, I feel like every week, every time I have a guest on, it's always nuggets being given to the people. Everybody that I've ever had on, man, has always given the people that have watched something. And I think that's what it's about, substance, right? And it's about giving back. Because, you know, most of the time people get on here and they bombard y'all in the beginning with, yo, buy this, buy that, get this, get that. And I understand, you know, everybody, it's a hustle. And you got to treat this like a business, right? But then there comes a time when you got to look at this from a different standpoint too, or have a different perspective about it. You know, having a platform means it comes with a different set of responsibilities too. You know, at some point you got to look past yourself. And there's a lot of platforms who, you know, I'm not calling no names, and I'm also not trying to compare to say that I'm better. What I'm saying is that we understand the difference between when you have a platform that's based on making sure that you're giving back as much as you look in the game versus how people just want to exploit people for a certain type of conversation so they can get a few type of clicks or some shit like that. You know what I mean? And on my platform, that's why I don't do the racial thing. I don't do the division thing. I don't do this whole, yo, we can only talk to people based on this particular demographic, because that ain't my style, yo. My thing is that I want to know what's going on out there in the world. I want to know from everyday people, even though they're not everyday people, to the people in their life. And that's what makes being a man so dope. Right? Because in so many instances, being a man is so much pressure put on you, right? Because number one, you got to always remember this. If you don't remember nothing else, you know, you're only as good as the service that you provide when it comes to those people outside of you. Let's be real. You know what I mean? You have to maintain yourself in order to be something that people will even attract to, or for a woman to even give you that type of scenario where they could put you in the front as being the lead. Now, we know that it ain't always based on morals and standards that people pick who they pick in their life. But let's just be real. The dopest thing about being in this position is understanding that you have a moral responsibility to have emotional intelligence. Period. You have a moral responsibility as a man, because as a man, you're gifted to be a leader. Now, I ain't saying all men can lead, but I'm saying that's what you're gifted with. Some people are born with it, some people can learn it. But at the end of the day, you have a position. It's just that you don't always play it. And I get it. It's so many different things that we face with every day that we can honestly stand on that may be something that a man can seem like is an obstacle. But I like to think about certain things as obstacles, but I like to look at them as hurdles. I don't look at them like as walls and blocks. I like to look at them as hurdles. Because the one thing we know about a wall is that certain people that we know out here know how to dig under a wall. So even a wall is not really something that should stand in your way, even when it comes to that. But when I think about things in your way, I'm talking about the way you see it. You know, I look at it as hurdles. Now, some people, you get to a certain age, you might look at that hurdle and feel like you could jump it, but then you get up there and you done clipped your whole life away. Now you're dirty and shit. You got sand all in your eye. But if you could really take the opportunity to practice that each and every day, that be prepared to jump these hurdles and not just look at your life as if hurdles not coming. Because look, let's face it, depending on how you deal with the things in your life, that's the people you attract. Most of these people out here are attracting the people based on trauma, right? Trauma bonding is a real thing. Trauma bonding is a real serious thing. And a lot of people get in situations based on that, right? We going through the same negative thing. But I don't like the fact that we don't put that same energy into the positive thing. People very rarely get together for the positive thing, right? Like, let that be the thing that draws y'all together, not the thing that puts y'all in a position where you were vulnerable or you were going through the 5 stages of grief, at whatever stage of that grief you were in, and then that caused you to attract the wrong people. Because a lot of us don't understand the difference between that, like knowing that that's the part of our life versus, knowing what it's like to be a black sheep, right? Because look, let's put it into a different perspective. Everybody look at themselves as a black sheep because they feel like it's something wrong with them because the way everybody else around them treat them. Versus looking at yourself like, no, it's something right with you based on the way that everybody else treats you. We understand that there's 2 sides to a coin. We say that when it came to Bill Cosby, right? They said that all them women came out there and said he did that. He had to have done it. Like, all those women couldn't have been Lotto. Like, all those women couldn't have been paid to do that. Listen, they printing money every day. Y'all bugging. But that ain't my business because that ain't my thing. But what I'm saying to you is that because all of these people said it, they was like, that person did it. Look at what's going on with Diddy. Like, because this person got that bag and this person over here, now everybody's saying that he was pumping them. But I'm like, damn, y'all been, the new girl that's suing them is like, she done been in 2 different groups with the cat. Now you suing them? Like, you bugging too. Right? But that's the part that I'm trying to say to y'all about being that person that's considered the black sheep. You may look at it like that's a bad thing, or you may look at it like, damn, this person don't fuck with me, or that person don't rock with me. I love them, but they don't love me. Or I looked at this person as this, and then they did this to me, and all this other shit, and you feel like it's something wrong with you, but it ain't. You got a different purpose in life. You got a different mission. You was meant to do something that could break the generational curses, not be more of a part of it. So, being pushed out of some things sometimes, it's not a bad thing. You just look at it like it is. But like, glass half empty, half full. Y'all know my motto. A lot of times you not being included in shit is a good thing. It's not so much for you to be sitting up here talking about, they don't like me, they don't this, that, and the third. No, how you feel about you? Because that's what it's really about. How the hell you feel about you? Not about how everybody else. What validation you seeking from other people? That ain't my business. But what is my business is what is you feeling about you. That was not perfect grammar at all. I don't even know. You put that shit together how y'all want. But y'all know what I'm saying. Come on, let's be real. Like, how you feel about you. It's called self-esteem, not everybody else's esteem. So look, we gonna keep it moving on that same energy, right? But look, I'm good. Tonight is gonna be dope because it's always dope to have an artist on, right? Because for so much I looked at, as much as I've done in music and things that I've been able to see and people I've been able to talk to and people I've been able to be around, there's a lot of people who do this music thing because they feel like, that's something they could do. You know what I mean? I still don't understand the artists that come out and say, I ain't no rapper. Like, all the rappers that make it big and rap say they ain't no rapper. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something I did and all that. Like, listen, God gives us all gifts and talents, right? God gives it to us. That's one thing that you don't have to, like, you didn't ask for. But most people rush to go give somebody else permission in order for them to use the gift that God gave them. Every day, yo. You know how many people sacrifice whatever they can for some little bum ass record deal just to be a part of like what's going on out there right now, yo? You do y'all know that? Or versus some shit that they was given for free that God gave them that they don't need permission to do, that they could get out here and do the shit themselves. Oh, because it's not about getting to the money, it's about being famous. That's why I like talking to artists with a story. And the artist that I got on tonight got a story. You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about a story of overcoming. Like we talking about when you go through something that most people don't really want to fathom. Like it's certain things that certain people go through, and you look at it and you say, "Yo, I don't even want to think about that." Right, but then there's people who actually really living the thing that most people don't even want to think about, and then they continue to push on. And then the gift that they was given, right? To be able to use that as a form of expression to give out there to other people to hopefully motivate them to keep pushing at times when it looks like it's your darkest. Like, look, y'all, it ain't too many people that can help you see the light in the dark, right? Because so many people that when the dark come, that's all they see. Yo, word is born. That's all they see. There's very few people that could come through and say, "Yo, fam, look, here's the light right there." And then you be like, "Damn, I ain't even see it right there. I've been here the whole time. I ain't see it. Yeah, here it go." So look, tonight's conversation gonna be super dope because that's the type of vibe it's gonna be on, right? But I'm not gonna be the one to sit up here and act like I ain't about to bring him up, so he can go ahead and tell y'all himself. But I got my boy Kenny J in the building. And we're gonna get into some things tonight. We're gonna get into the music. We're gonna get into his life. But I'm definitely gonna get into his story because, like I said, there's a lot of people who use their gift just to feel like it's about them. And then there's others who use their life as a form of wanting to inspire other people. So this is gonna be a real conversation. So let me see what my man got going on real quick. Bring him to the stage. Kenny J, what's going
Man,
on?
salute, brother. Man, good stuff, bro. I appreciate it, man. Spark of the conversation
Uh-oh.
is absolutely dope.
You're not muted, are you?
I'm not muted. No, sir. I'm
Okay.
not muted.
We having that
I'm not muted.
situation again where I can't
Yeah,
hear you.
I'm
I
not
don't know
muted.
what's going on, man.
I'm not muted.
Y'all, hold on
Yeah.
for a second. We gonna
Yep.
figure this out, y'all. Wait a
Mm-hmm.
minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. We gonna say something again,
Yes,
bro.
sir. I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. This thing
Yeah.
is just bugging. We gonna let me see something though, cause yo.
I'm here. I'm here.
Back. There we go, bro. I don't know
I'm
what's
here.
going on. Yeah. All right, so look, the homie Kenny
Yeah.
J in the building, man. What's
Mm-hmm.
going on with you, bro?
Man, good talk. I mean, thank you for being on. Thank you for me getting on this podcast, man. Spark the conversation, man. Raw, good stuff. I enjoyed your commentary at the onset of it. Good stuff, man. Thank you for getting me on. Definitely something we need to have a conversation about for sure.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that, bro. And I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you sharing your story and sharing your
Yeah.
time with me, man. Because like
Mm-hmm.
I said, man, you got a real story, bro. So
Yeah.
look, this is what we want to do. Before I get into all my whatever, we want to,
Mm-hmm.
you introduce yourself to the
Mm-hmm.
audience and let them know
Yeah.
why you on the platform this evening.
Yeah, Kenny J is from a town in Inglewood, New Jersey, not too far from New York. So that's where the accent from. I'm sure everybody gonna be like, "Where you from?" We're from Jersey, but everybody up there north to up top is gonna talk like this. So it is what it is.
I can
Born
dig
in
it.
Inglewood, New Jersey, raised, influenced by so many different people in my town. Was doing music for a long time. Church is where it's at for me. My dad
Right,
was a musician, a church musician, and he is where I get the DNA from, along from God, just giving me a gift to do music and to love it. And
right,
I've done music all through high school. Went to school at the Institute of Audio Research to study engineering, audio engineering. So, I'm a studio owner. I'm a writer. I'm a producer. I'm a father. I'm a My wife has passed away this last year. My platform, what I always talk about is positivity. I think it's important as an artist in the industry to not feed into the negativity that is out here in the music. For a long time, we see so many different artists that just use women to disrespect them in their videos and all of that sort of stuff. And I'm a dad, I'm a grandfather, and I just wanted to use my gift and my platform to just spread love and positivity. I didn't want to be a part of the problem, but I wanted to be a part of the solution. So all of my music is going to be nice. It's going to talk about love. It's going to talk about loving the lady. It's going to talk about really enjoying and taking care of her. You're a Woman came out with, Love Is All We Need came out first last year, and then You're a Woman comes out this year, just paying homage to women and all of the struggles that they have. And just to, as a man, be able to kind of, empower them, to let them know that we really love them. They bring life into this world. And I just wanted to be a part of that. So my music is basically going to talk about that. It's going to be sexy. All right. It's going to be nice. It's going to talk about love. It's going to help. It's going to kind of direct people into some positive love music. It's going to talk about all type of subject matters from what I've experienced through my life and what I've learned and all of that sort of stuff. So it's going to be pretty good. So that's me in a nutshell.
Yo, no, that's dope, because
Yeah.
that gives us a lot to unpack, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Because let's be honest. Like, when it comes to music, like you
Mhm.
said, first of all, when you were saying like, yo, and first of all, I'm gonna give a shout out to Jersey, because I'm from East Orange. And I know you said you're from Inglewood, so
Yeah,
in love.
we're around.
And I keep, and this like the third show I had a guest on that was from Jersey, so
Yeah.
we finding each other out here, right?
Yeah, that's what's up. That's dope.
But what I was going to say was, like, yo, in that whole thing, all right, so when you said the thing about the church, right?
Yeah.
So, and your dad gave you the gift. So in
Yeah.
the whole creation of music, what do you do exactly in the creation of the music? I know you got songs coming out, but we want to make sure that people know, like, do
Yeah.
you play an instrument, or
Yeah.
do you just produce? All right, bet. So let's get into
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
your dad influenced you, and then
Yes.
you got into what part of the music?
Yeah, so I'm from the era of people playing instruments. I'm from the era of people creating and being not just a one sort of instrument sort of play. I play multiple instruments. All of my productions are done by myself, from the keyboard to the mixing to the background vocals to the bass guitar to the drums to the strings. Whatever is on that production, I'm blessed to be able to do it. So I don't necessarily pat myself on the back. That's just the era that I'm from.
Right.
You couldn't sound like anybody else. You had to have your own sound, and you had to be good. You couldn't half it. You had to do what you had to do. And I'm just from that era. So I'm not necessarily from the computer era. I was going to IAR in I'm gonna age myself, in like 1997, and they were just being introduced to like computer music and MIDI. And as time progressed, computers got a little more affordable, and we just kind of became computer musicians, and just we did a lot of different things and recording on the computer. So it's just technology and learning different things. I'm not afraid to learn, and music is my passion, and I play every instrument that saxophone I play. I can play any instrument you give me. I can figure it out. It's dope.
Oh wow,
I love it.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's a gift too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's another thing that I was talking about earlier. There's so many people that can do these things, right? But they give it away, and
Yes.
they give it away to other people. They give
Mhm.
other people permission over the gift that God gave them, and then you
Yeah.
figure out that you have this gift, but then you
Mm.
exploit it for a little bit of money. Because I had a guest on who worked in Hollywood, right? And they
Mhm.
did makeup for all the big people and big movies and a lot of television shows and stuff like that. And we was
Mhm.
talking, and he was like, yo, she was able to make it in Hollywood, but she wasn't the typical I made it in Hollywood being in front of the camera. She was responsible for being behind the camera, making sure the people that was in front of the camera
Mhm.
looked the part, whether
Right.
they needed to look sleepy, whether they needed to look pretty and all that. So my
Yeah.
point was but in Los Angeles, California, they got a high homeless population.
Right.
And a lot of the homeless population are people who came there with $1 and a dream to make it in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them didn't make it in Hollywood. They resorted to drugs. Some of them made it in some type of way in Hollywood, especially a lot of the women, right?
Mm-hmm.
They was able to get in certain parties. They
Right.
was able to do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But they all are talented. Out there on Skid Row
Yes.
is, like we
Right.
said, is one of the most talented places in the world.
Very true. Very, very
Right?
true.
And drug addicts,
Mm-hmm.
alcoholics, homeless people, but the gift that God was giving them, because they allow someone else to exploit it, they are now, are just out here being a nomad in society and lost their purpose. So
Yeah.
the fact that you was able to figure that out and, had an influence enough to hold you down with it, I think that's amazing, bro.
Yeah, that's dope. Most of us that do music do it for the passion or do it for the love of it, and that's what we should do music for. I think all the time, in many cases, if I had to do music for free, I would more than likely positively do it for free. Not that I would want to do it for free, but I love it so much. It's just like a part of my lifeline. So many people that that don't make it to that level, they get disappointed somewhere along the line.
Right.
If I can stay humble enough, and that's my prayer all the time, just keep me humble enough where I can always appreciate and love the sound of music. If nobody ever hears a song, would I still do it? My answer would be yes. If my song is never played on the radio, would I still do it? Yes. If nobody listens to me commentary or commentate or have a perspective, will I still have an opinion? Will I still have a perspective? My answer to all of that is yes. It's because I love to give information. I love the sound of music. I love to put my thought and my perspective in a song with hopes that it'll inspire somebody. So most times you don't necessarily want to do it for the money. Hopefully it shall follow you. Your gift will make room for you. And for me, my prayer is that, and I see the fruits of my labor. You was talking about that earlier, about being purposeful at what you do and do it
Right.
for the right reasons and not do it just for a dollar bill, because some people are doing it for the dollar bill and looks what's happening to them. They're getting exploited and taken advantage of. So I get it.
Facts.
Yeah.
And then that comes with the drug that most
Mm.
people don't want to admit, that that's the strongest drug in the world, and it's fame,
Yes.
right? You
Attention.
gotta,
Attention.
the whole thing about people who say, like, they say things out here like people sell their soul to the devil, or they do a contract with the devil, but the exchange for what they willing to exchange their soul for is only fame, because
Yeah.
money come and go. Like,
Yeah. Absolutely.
I noticed that people, the more money they get, the less money they spend, because they used to say this story about Michael Jordan. They was like, yo, Michael Jordan is one of the richest men in the world, who could go to places like Chicago and New York and all of the major cities, and then his money is no good there. Like, they don't charge him for nothing. He can go
Mm,
to a restaurant, eat for free, drink for free,
mm,
because of just who he is, the impact of what he made people feel. These
mm,
people are establishment owners, and he come there just to,
mm,
he wanted to pay him and everybody he with eat for free, because of the restaurant owner, like, just thank you for coming in here.
mm.
So it's a lot that come with fame, like, right? Just being
Absolutely.
recognizable. But
Yeah,
then
man.
when you think about it in the opposite sense, like you said, would people still do the music if they wasn't famous? Because most people don't think outside the box,
Yeah.
right? Your music can be famous even if you're not, depending on where you place it.
Yeah, that's true. You got to put a spin on that too, because sometimes even that could be dangerous. Influence could be dangerous if you're not mature to understand what that looks like. I know, and we've seen in the industry, in the media right now, that influence and having power can take you somewhere else. Who knows what happened behind closed doors? Who knows what happens? I can't judge that. I can just say, man, God bless him. I hope it'll work out for him. But we got to be careful on when we have the influence or when we've attained the influence, that we're
Right,
responsible with it. Because
right.
just like the vultures are out there to take from you, there's individuals that's going to be motivated by taking from you, and that's not going to kind of work. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful on both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, the saddest part about that part is that
Mm,
you know, the people that's gonna want to take it from you first or
Mm.
most or the most aggressive are gonna be people that know you. Like
Absolutely.
it's not gonna
It's very true.
necessarily come from all the people on the outside yet, because right now they trying to make sure you can match them. Like, think about it. The people on the outside that want to take your money from you,
Mm.
9 times out of 10 either got more or that's what they do for a living.
Yeah.
Now, when you got people that is going to look at you with the sense of entitlement because they know
Hmm.
you, right?
Absolutely. Very,
Because
very,
they've
very
hung
true.
with you before, because they've been in a group with you before, maybe because
Yeah.
they've done, you know, shows with you, like whatever it is that
Yeah.
people do. So that's why, you know, in the sense of when it comes down to what social media has done for me, it has allowed me to allow me to have receipts.
Hmm. Yeah.
Right. So then there's people who say, yo, I don't really use social media like that, and they got businesses. I don't understand how you don't. Because there's your receipts for all the people that said they support you and they love you. You know, they don't gotta
Very
tell
true.
you if they don't share
Yeah.
your shit, if they don't promote your stuff, if they not do these things are free.
Yeah.
So if they not doing that on their own without you telling them, then how, when it comes down to your whole situation changing to the better, now they already feel like, yo, now they got a business plan. They ain't had one before.
Yeah.
Oh, now you want to have a business meeting. My phone didn't work for business before. Like, you wilding. But these are the people you got receipts. Like, yo, fam, you need what? Oh, okay, because look, I'm looking right here. Yo, you ain't supporting nothing.
Yeah. Let me add to that because it's important that the people of the world understand this. If people want to be a part of something that's moving, friends and people alike, everybody wants to kind of go on the boat and ride with you. Until that boat starts sinking, they're gonna be with you. But as soon as that boat starts to sinking and they can't benefit from what you're doing, they're gonna throw you the peace sign. They're gonna be gone. So it's important that you choose your friends wisely, because if you do not choose your friends wisely, you're gonna find out that those same friends that said they love you with the bread, they ain't gonna be around when you don't have it like that. And don't cut them off. Don't cut them off. And I'm sarcastically saying that, but don't cut them off. You're gonna find out whether or not those same friends are gonna still be with you when all that stuff stops. If you voluntarily cut them same people off, they ain't gonna want to see you progress. Everything that you do is gonna be a problem. They're gonna probably be your worst nightmare, your worst enemy, because they're gonna maybe in many cases try to be in competition with you, and you ain't even trying to compete with anybody. You're just doing what you do. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So just be
Yeah.
very, very careful, because those same individuals that loved you one time when you was with them and doing what you do, it'll flip around on you and it's gonna look a little crazy at the end of the day. So be very careful. Choose wisely, because if you don't, you'll be sorry. That's just a clear warning.
Oh yeah. Look, if that's a great one, and I think it's more of a thing that people change in at times where you think they wouldn't. Now, let's
Mm-hmm.
be real. There's a lot of people who be solid
Yeah,
because
true. Very true.
they got a little thing with them where they believe in you,
Mm-hmm.
but because their limitations in their mind won't allow them to see past themselves, they
Yeah,
really subconsciously don't really think you're gonna make it, but they know you got the talent enough to make
that's
it.
very true.
Right person hear you,
Very
right?
true.
So the right person hear you, they'll be like, yo, they out of here. So they're gonna hang around and be as solid as they can
Yeah,
in that particular moment. But
yeah,
the moment that when they feel like you at your peak and then it doesn't turn over, and then they gonna fall off. But see, that's where the receipts come in. Because
yeah.
what they don't understand is that for the artist, you don't stop working because now a few people
Mm,
is saying know who you are. That's
yeah.
just live that,
Yeah, yeah,
yo.
you're prophetic, Raw. You prophet Raw right now. You prophet Raw right now. You you
Yo,
you
I've
you're
been
killing it.
through it, bro. I've been through it. Yo, I have listen, I have a whole catalog. Like what people do is that they didn't realize the fact of what their gift is. They thought that the fact that they do music or act or whatever was for them to be in Hollywood or be in the music business.
Mm,
It's a music business, not that you
business.
had to go into a record company. That's something that you could create yourself.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that it's so much people making money just off of licensing their music to soundtracks.
That's right. That's
Yo,
fine.
they'll never be on the radio, right? They'll never be on they'll be touring, like, they'll tour, but they not
Yeah.
gonna get on Live Nation and all this other shit where you gonna know that these people are touring. But these people making millions of dollars, while the biggest artist that everybody loves right now is barely making enough to pay out at the end of the night.
They don't know the business. They do not know. You just said it, the music business.
It
is a music. Other than having the talent, other than having the grace, and the gift to do what you do, there's a side of the music that most people don't understand. Those people, we talked about those people that are on Skid Row right now, all they were interested in is making sure they can get heard and played. Most times, if they don't understand the business, they're going to be taken advantage of.
Facts.
They got to make sure that those same individuals that look at you and see what you do, that they could use, or even just take a glimpse at what you're doing. Just say, let me just kind of use that as an example to see how I can do to level up. Not take advantage, not kick them down, not do anything disrespectful. Just be 100 on everything. But it's hard to do that. That's why I don't have a problem with not having friends like that. I don't have a problem with just kind of digging down and doing what I love to do is music. Because if those people were around me just because they can just kind of live off the fat of the land, so to speak, I don't need them around me, because they're going to mess around and just take me down anyway. So I'm moving on anyway into that level of positivity where I'm able to use my voice to make certain that I can even give love to them. You know what I mean? Because they need love too. They need love too. I ain't hating on them that much, but you gotta speak the truth about them though, for sure.
Yeah, you're right about that. Everybody need love, but you ain't got to be in love.
Nah, I agree 100% for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Love is, that's why they say love is the biggest emotion that ever existed, because love has so many different levels to it.
Absolutely.
That you don't have to accept another person's version of it when you know how love makes you feel.
Right.
Like so often people get in relationships of all kind thinking that the other person is supposed to love them the way that they love, and that's not what it is.
Right.
They have. I feel like, it's just my opinion, right? That they have lied to us so much when it came to human beings. Of saying so much about you got to be so much of an opposite to attract. Now I understand that when it comes to magnets, but when it comes to people and their attraction, if you think about in magnetism, like what you give out is what you get.
Absolutely, and without that,
you're attracting.
That's
you
real
know what
good,
I'm saying? You attracting
yeah.
what you get until you change your energy, your vibration. You're gonna keep attracting what you consider or what is seen to be wrong. My goal is not to be the person that is always right. My goal is to be right enough to to understand that the person that's walking beside me can be the other part of my wrong and make it right.
Very true.
That's where the teamwork come in. But you got so many people out here who want to be equal. I don't want to be the same as whoever is around me and what position they am. I want you to be who you are.
Yeah.
If you are the person that's good in this, be that. I don't want to be you.
Yeah.
Right. But we don't live in a life like that now, right, fam? We live in a life now where everybody feel like they gotta be on the same level. Like, yo, listen, me and you gotta be the exact same in order for it to work. And no, that's mad corny. What's my position?
Yeah.
That's what I look at. Let me play my position. What position that you wanted me to be in? It's like if you go to work for a job or work for somebody, yo, listen, fam, what is my job duties? Anything outside of that is above and beyond. You don't have to recognize me for that, but recognizing me for that is going to keep me going. What? Above and beyond.
That's right. And sometimes those positions change within time. Sometimes you're going to have to do certain things you're not going to be able to do here. If you go to that job and they give you a job description, please understand that job description, when you start working, will probably more likely broaden past where you're supposed to be going. And please don't say, well, that ain't a part of my job description, because you're going to be the first one that they give a pink slip to when it's time to get fired.
But we should hold that same standard in life when
Yes,
it comes to
absolutely.
all relationships, right?
Absolutely.
Because we shouldn't give the person more respect that pay us, more
That's
than the
right.
respect of the person
Absolutely.
that we vow to watch our life.
Absolutely. Everybody should
Like,
be on that
right?
same level. That's
It
you
should be the
should.
same. We should have
You
the
should
same
think.
level of like, yo, listen, this is what we doing. This is the standard. Like,
Mm,
look, you put me in this position, I'm playing this
mm,
position. And you don't want to respect me in this role, then I shouldn't be in that role.
mm,
Right? You gotta realize that with the choices that you made, not me, because this is the direction that I'm trying to go. And
mm,
and then as being a man, we gotta stop. But we can't talk like that as being men, right? Because you got
mm,
a lot of men out here who are just relaxed at not understanding that it's okay for you to, if you gotta be the person that gotta give your life,
mm.
then you should be the person that should understand how to direct it too. Like, come on, get
Yeah.
out my face.
These
Like,
are the areas of life that we need help on in this world.
we gotta
We got
continue to push the
that's right.
narrative.
We do. We do.
But let me ask you this though, because in the spirit of what we're talking about, because sometimes in life people do find things, and then sometimes those things, you know, they when they're no longer there, they affect us in a certain way. So I
Mm,
know in the beginning you were talking about that your wife passed.
yeah.
This year, you said earlier this year or
Well,
last year?
last year, 2023, June 2023, she passed.
Okay. So, and now my question is not going to be how did it affect you, because that's not even the
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that should go without being said. But I would like
Yeah.
to know, man, when it come down to your music, has
Mm,
the relationship that you once had and you reflect on, is the
yeah.
means behind why you do the music that you do, or how does that work for you?
Well, all of that kind of intertwines. My feelings and what the process was during the time that she transitioned is something that I believe helps, somebody that in many of the podcasts that I have, what are people processing during the situation of loss? How do men deal with situations like that? And for me, of course, it was a process. Of course, it was something that I had to kind of sit down and just take some time away. It did have an effect on my music. It did allow me to dig a little deeper. It allowed me to work out some areas just as a bodybuilder would work out muscles. He'd work out that same area so he can get strength in that area. My music, I believe, is a gift from God that helped me process through those things. I was able to write. I was able to really get out my emotions and talk about some of the things that really affected me. And I didn't dig around being sorry of anything, or it was just really at that moment, at those moments was just, let me take this emotion and put it out in a way that people can build and learn how to live life through. I didn't want to be in mourning for the rest of my life. I didn't want to be unhealed. I wanted to be a person that's processed through it and gets through it and be able to help another person get through it. So did it affect me? It did. But it didn't affect me to a point where I just wanted to just jump off a building. No disrespect to anybody. I thought that time, those things that I was kind of trying to kind of get through was going to help me through my music, and it did.
Yeah, so I like how you put it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody has a different sense of what mourning is like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there are people who see things in a more physical sense, and then there's
Right.
those that see things in a spiritual sense, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
We all know that there's a balance to it all, right? Because that's
Yes.
what nature is. That's what nature
Absolutely.
is. And so much that's what we're a part of, even though we've gotten away from it as people, right?
Right. Right.
But in the sense of going through loss, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's stages of grief that people go through.
Yes. Absolutely.
And in those stages of grief, there's people who don't make it past certain ones in order to, receive their outlet.
Right.
Like, how can you express these emotions and get these emotions out of you to the point where it doesn't be perceived as if you're forgetting about it,
Mm-hmm.
but you're being able to live with it,
I'll
right?
explain that. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll explain that, because I think there's a misconception on when it's too soon, or when it's just not enough time. And nobody on this world, in this earth, can tell another person who's dealing with something like that how long to mourn. Whether it be a week, whether it be 2 weeks, or whether it be a year or 2 years, there's no time limit on it. But I do believe that a person should take the time to deal with it. If you don't deal with it and you disregard it like it isn't anything, I believe that could be an issue that you need to go speak to some sort of therapist with, which is fine. I do believe in therapy. I do believe in speaking to some sort of coach or whatever the case may be to get you through massaging the thoughts of kind of being free from that. Will you ever forget them? Probably not. But you can live life and learn how to live life without that individual being here. Because here's the simple fact is this: that person can't come back. I know that's hard for some people to understand. I know that's hard and difficult for people to understand, but I'm a realist when it comes to me. And that person cannot come back. Why would I, as a person that understand that, want to put myself in a headspace to continuously think about that for the rest of my life? I think that's unhealthy for me. So for me, and everybody's process is different, so you can't tell anybody how to process it. But for me, the process was, let's just try to get through this and mourn. Take some time. There's a season for mourning. There's a season to be happy. There's a season for everything. I just didn't want the season of my life to be filled with mourning. I wanted to live. I wanted to love again. I wanted to be in another relationship again, and so on and so forth. So I have to put that into perspective. When people are going through mourning and situations like that, take the time. Don't allow anybody to define what that time looks like. You just choose to do it, and hopefully you will come out on top. And I'm a hell of a lot better than I was before during that time. And it's just a process that you have to take. Don't shut your emotions off. More or less, men do that. Don't shut your emotions off. Find somebody to have a conversation with and get past it. It can definitely be done. I am a witness, so trust me on that.
Well, look, no, and that perspective is necessary, right? Or it's always healthy to hear another person's perspective on how they deal with loss,
Right.
Especially with something being so close, because then you have people who deal with the loss of, like you losing your wife, but then there's people who lose their favorite cousin, their aunt, their grandmother, or their parents, and they really deal with that for a really long time.
Right.
And then what I heard one guy say was, he was a neuroscientist, and he was saying the reason why most people have what they consider PTSD or anything that they live over and over is because once something becomes a memory and it's a visual memory, your brain has the ability to recall it at any given time based on a trigger, which we all know that triggers really exist, because in real life, certain words trigger a person to automatically feel like it's negativity in the air, even when you're not speaking from a place of that. It's triggers. A lot of people never deal with their, what they consider is, this is just me, because people know so much about their zodiac that they think that their zodiac is all that it is. But people have a sun and a moon sign. So then if you understand both, then you can understand there's a balance. There's always duality. There's man, there's woman, there's hot, there's cold. There is a thing that is mixed duality. Like, you're not complete or whole unless you could put the two halves together, right?
True.
So if we look at life from that perspective, it's saying, yo, if you could look at it from both angles, it'll be okay for you to understand my perspective. But the way that you just said that, there'll be somebody that's going to watch this and be like, oh man, he must ain't really, feel this way, or he must ain't really did this, or he must have been waiting, or he must, why? Because in most people's mind, it's a soap opera with everything.
Absolutely. Let me say this. I was married for 21 years. Let that sink. So for the people who may have a difficult time in understanding my process, there's nothing in the world that I could do. Nothing. When life is taken out of your hands, you can't go to the store and get some rubbing alcohol for it. You can't go buy anything to give it out. When that sort of thing is taken out of your hands and there's nothing you could do, one of the things that you said is the process of understanding something. I'm gonna add to that, because sometimes when people suffer from different other ailments, they're not processing it. Is they can't get past the fact that it happened. They can't get past the fact that it happened, and they can't understand what they could do to fix it. And here's what's crazy about it: you can't fix it. There's nothing in your DNA which can help you breathe life into anybody's body. If they have expired, unfortunately, from the earth, I'm a realist when it comes to it. There's nothing I could do. I stood there, and I'm gonna be graphic with the people. I stood there, my daughter and I stood there and held her hand to the last breath. So my process is going to be different than my daughter's. Right? So me as a father has standing there, my job at that point is to be a leader and not just kind of disregard my feelings, but to process them. I was there for everybody. I was there from the whole start of it all. I've been married for 21 years. So for those people who think that, the process is too soon and this and that, okay, cool. Unfortunately, they don't have to deal with it. I do. So I'm cool with the commentators on the flip side that kind of have a different opinion about it. That's fine. You can have your opinion, but I have to live it. And my choice is I'm going to choose life. I'm going to choose to process through it. I'm going to choose to enjoy the time that I had for the 21 years that I was married. And I have to kind of keep moving. I'm not going to forget her. Who can? I got a daughter. I mean, we got kids. I can't do that. We got pictures. We got different memories that we've put around in this world. 21 years is a lifetime. Are you kidding me? So that's all I can say to those folks. That's all.
Well, that's more
real.
than a lot of people can actually say. Nah, that's real talk, because it's so many people in this world who don't make it 21 years with nothing or nobody.
Absolutely.
Some people don't make it 21 months. Some people don't make it 21 days. Let's be honest.
That's
so
absolutely
the fact
true.
that you were able to get through all that, and I feel like in that type of relationship, you spend a lot of time getting to know a person. I think you can deal with things a little bit differently than people who feel like they suffered a loss because they hadn't had enough time with a person.
Right.
But neither one is right or wrong, right?
Absolutely.
Like what you're saying is like, yo, don't judge me because I cannot judge you on your process.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the most important part of what you're saying versus people maybe getting hung up on the detail about what they may think you be feeling or thinking. It's like, nah, yo, I had 21 years in the game, yo. And then, but you know what it is? Most people who make certain comments never had a relationship that they could stand on for a certain amount of time that they actually went through anything with. Because there's ups and downs in all relationships, whether it's your personal one with your person or your family or friends. You know what? It's going to be ups and downs, ebb and flows. If they really supposed to be in your life, they going to be there. If they not, they out of there, yo. Like, it don't matter what the connection of it is, but not in the sense of somebody actually leaving the earth. Like, that's like a different, I'm not
relationship.
Coming back. That's relationship.
That's just human race.
Right?
That's
chapter close, right?
Is what it is.
In your story of life, that's chapter close, right? And then it got to keep going unless you in the story.
Absolutely.
But again, like you have kids and you have other things that you got to be that pillar for. You got to be strong for, so people can continue to move forward. Not forget, like you said, like, no, I ain't forgetting her. I'm just moving on and then being there for everybody else and just enjoying the fact that I had this life with this person versus, like the people that's going to look from the outside. Because let's put it to you like this, like, yo, the music that you do is sexy. It's about love. It's about men being able to, be okay with like being good with a woman, man.
Absolutely.
Like, yo, get from up under your boys and all that other shit. So with that being said, like, yo, it's motivation that gotta come from that.
Absolutely. Every time I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about positivity. I'm not trying to start nothing. I'm not trying to be about no drama, no foolishness, no nothing. You know what I mean? It's just when you mature past a certain point, when you get to a point where like all of that stuff don't matter. It don't matter. At the end of the day, I'm going to kind of take into account. My grandmother used to tell me this: when you got to take into account for what you did here on this earth. If you're putting forth good energy, your job on this earth, you're using your gift to uplift people and to build people, to explain to them what love is and all of that sort of stuff, giving your perspective. And the world can be a better place. But what we do most times is we focus on the stupid, excuse my French, on just being idiotic and how to be crazy on this world. No, let's switch that. Like men gotta stand a little better on their 10 toes to be a light, a much more of a light in this world than what they've done. I'm not using my gift, my artistry for no other reason but to uplift people. And that's what I think that my gift is for. So if I'm going to show some honor to my former bride, it's going to be putting this positive energy out here. It's going to be helping these gentlemen, my son's age, and all of the gentlemen in the world, and even ladies, what to pay attention for. And for the sons, for my son, hey man, treat this lady a little different, bro. Don't be out here doing crazy to these people, man. Don't do that, bro. Just take it easy, relax, build your life, because you're not gonna be prosperous if you keep putting this negative energy out here, man. Be a little positive than that. Be a little better than that.
Facts. And be okay with understanding that it does work when you are able to balance out your masculine energy
Absolutely,
with the right type of feminine,
absolutely,
like and be okay with having standards as a man. Like
absolutely.
don't be feel ashamed because you got standards. Now we know people out here a lot of times they date off preferences versus standards, right?
Yes.
We know people love to talk about they want a person that's this height or this
Hmm.
weight or this shade or this
Hmm.
type of hair or whatever. And that
Hmm.
goes for men and women. They
Right,
have what they call a preference. But
right.
rarely do people go out here and say, look, I need to find people based on these particular standards. Because the
Standards
standards is what's going to lead you to the freedom. And
for
what I
sure.
mean by freedom is like financially, I know a lot of people don't look at finances in a way if they look at money.
Hmm.
And so it has a negative connotation anytime you talk about financial freedom. But I
Hmm.
don't look at finances as all about money. Sure, you make money, or sure, you can
Right,
put things out there to bring money in, but we know
right,
money is a tool. Money
right,
is a tool that we should be able to use to make more money. But in turn, people use money as a tool to spend. The more
right.
they make, the more they spend, instead of
That's right,
using the dollars to bring back more friends.
right.
I want to use the dollars to bring back more friends, right? So look, if you are in a position in life where you can look at everything that's going on in the world, you know that whatever you put in is what you get out. I think
For sure.
investing in financial freedom, not just based on money, I'm talking about in the freedom part. Right,
Absolutely.
investing in the freedom. These was what's going to help you looking for people based on standards, not
Hmm.
based on no freaking preference. Look,
Absolutely.
yo, you could go all day as a man talking about I like light skinned girls with curly hair. Like, listen, every last light skinned girl with curly hair you met shared you.
Ah!
So you might want to
Ah!
get up off that I like light skinned girls with curly hair and try to find women based on the standard, and then you'll
Yeah.
realize that what you like ain't always what you need. You know
Mm-mm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
There's a
gotta have
lot
a
of people who
balance,
like
man.
look, it's a lot of people who like seafood, they can't eat it. Their whole throat
That's true.
closed up.
Yeah, you gotta have a great balance at that, and you can't just kind of take one out of the other. You gotta have a balance from it. You gotta have a balance for it. So
And you gotta be open. That's
you
why I
gotta be
feel like
open.
racism.
That's true.
That's why I feel like racism sucks ass, yo.
It does.
I feel like racism sucks monkey balls because it doesn't allow you to be open enough to have conversation with people because you're looking at them the wrong way.
That's very true.
You
Very
you
true.
looking at them over something that they didn't have no choice of. If any of us wasn't standing in the line with God and was like, "Yo, God, before I come out my pops, yo, make me, put me in a white pop, put me in a Spanish pop. I
Yeah,
want curly hair or something like that.
yeah,
My hair going right now, so
yeah,
I'm talking about hair as if it's something that I want back in life. But I don't want nobody to feel like he bitter because he don't have his hair no more.
yeah.
But no, I'm saying though, like real talk,
Absolutely.
like none of us chose or said that, but who we are is who we are.
That's right.
Very seldom people will be okay with accepting who they are.
It's
They feel like it's
important.
something wrong
It
with them.
don't matter. It's don't like it can come in many shapes, color, sizes. Don't cut yourself off. Don't say no to something. Just be honest with yourself, man. Just take a look at it, because you might very well be kind of giving up something that could be a benefit to your life. You just got to pay attention. You got to be there paying attention. So if you're not mature, I'll say this: if you're not mature, you're gonna find yourself on something that ain't gonna help you out. You got to make sure you're mature. Get your healing, young gentlemen. Get your healing, because your healing is gonna help you in your future. You got to.
Yeah, and be okay with accepting, the truth about yourself.
Absolutely.
Not so much based on what other people say about you. You don't have
That's
to
right.
accept what other people say about you, but
That's right.
you know your own flaws. Every man know their own flaws. They can lie to
True.
themselves if they want to, but
Yeah,
that
don't do
doesn't
that.
help them at all. You know what I'm
Don't do
saying?
that.
Every man knows their
Yeah.
own flaws. So you know what things that you got to work on, but it's okay if you could find somebody that you could talk to. Unfortunately, depending on your demographic and where you are, you may not find those people that you can
True.
talk to
True.
be able to give you some type of constructive something to help you, be able to see things from a different perspective. But then again, I do think that every single person has a purpose. I don't believe that nobody out here that's only meant to go to work, pay bills, come home, whatever routine that they do every day, be a parent. I don't think that that's your purpose. I think that's something that you do in life, and it's something that's a part of your life. But I don't think that that's your purpose. And I feel like every single person has a super gift, like a gift of some sort. But they haven't been allowed to tap into it based on things that have been told to them as a child. Like, you're not this and you ain't that. You can't do this and you can't be that. These are the 4 things that a lot of statements start with, depending on where you grow up at.
True. Very true.
Right. So you don't know. And then as an adult, or whenever you get to the point of being 21, that's when they completely tell you to cut off your imagination. So as a man, when your imagination is cut off, now you're no longer thinking for yourself. Now you're not thinking for yourself. You're no longer creative. Now you're a victim of the whatever is going on around you. Now, I ain't got no opportunity. Oh, it's no jobs. Oh, I got a felony. Oh, I got to do this. Like, so everything is against you. Oh, my kid's mom won't let me see the kid. All of these things are things that you're gonna have to be faced with. You know what I mean? Even if they might be. No, a lot of times these be real shit that you have to deal with. But I'm saying, right? Even though these are the things that you have to deal with, how are you looking at them? Are you looking at them as that wall, or are you looking at them as that hurdle? That's what I was saying in the beginning.
That's very true.
Because as the hurdle, you just got to figure out how to jump over that hurdle, because the hurdle is there to be jumped over. Now, if it's a wall, if it's too high for you to go over, my man, you're going to have to dig and go under.
Hey,
but
with no shovel.
You're gonna have to do what you gotta do, right?
Do what you gotta do, man. Men, real leadership in their home is gonna stand 10 toes down and do whatever they gotta do to take care of their situation. Don't give it any excuses. Do it.
Don't. Because at the end of the day, it could be a reason. Your excuses can be looked at as a reason. It's a thin line.
Yeah.
Right? You could say this is the reason why you do something, and the other person could say that's your excuse.
Exactly.
It's a thin line in between that. But for you, you got to have a reason why you want to do something,
That's
not
right.
a reason why you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have that reason why. Like, look, my reason why is because I have these kids, or if I got this, or I got, what is your reason why you want to do what you're doing? It can't be just for you. That your purpose in this earth ain't just for you. If people realize that, then they may really be able to find their purpose. Some people feel like their purpose is just for them. That's why if they don't make it in the record business, man, if they don't make it in Hollywood, if they don't make it in the NBA or NFL, they feel like their life is over, because to them, that's the ultimate way of making it. But we got people like Ice Cube who show, like, look, we can create our own basketball league. We do, but y'all won't come watch it because you stuck on the NBA. Philadelphia 76 or whatever, right? But we could do it. You don't have to aspire to go. If you nice with basketball, we got these other alternatives. Football, when all these rappers and stuff was coming together, buying these arena football teams, and the people won't come out and watch the football game. But you go to a high school game when you grown as shit, looking like a little pedophile. You ain't got no business at the high school football game. Just talking about, I used to go to this school. Get out of here.
Man,
You
go
trying to
somewhere.
see it again, and you're looking like a little pedophile. You could be over here at the other joint. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, where the adults at. So all I'm saying is that we have other opportunities, or when we create them, we don't support them. We got to figure out ways to get the people who are like-minded to be linked in.
Yeah, once that happens, is the ball game. We'll be on to something. But
Oh
we gotta
man, we
stick
on
together.
this. It's conversations like this, right? That
Yep.
that take that take place, that
That's
helps
right.
people with figuring it out. Because
That's,
somebody right now is saying, "Yo, I didn't even think about that," or "Look, oh yeah, now I might could do this now."
mhm.
Because of people having the opportunity to be open and having a conversation. There's a person who's taking a loss, bro. I deal with a lot of people who are considered impacted families on this platform, bro, where
Mhm.
moms have lost, or dads too, but I don't really get to talk to the dads. I talk to all the moms. They lost children through either pedestrian uh where the child got ran over by a car. I'm talking about grown adults, or
Wow.
their child has been murdered by the police. I've had the national people on here. I've had the lady on here who got the only conviction by a police officer murdering civilian in the last 50 years in Seattle, Washington. I
Wow.
had them on here. Like, these people be mourning totally different off of a
Mm.
loss, right?
Yeah,
Because that
that's
person was
different.
taken.
That's different.
You get
That's
what
a
I'm
lot
saying?
different. That's a lot different. That's a
Right?
lot different.
So whenever you think about the thought of loss, like, some people don't look at the comparison of it,
Mm.
saying that, yo, this loss is more worse than the other. That's how a fighter
Yeah.
starts.
True.
People
True.
battling over who lost more.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
families do that. Think about it. Families do that all the time. Like, one person passed and you got this person in the family, this cousin or this aunt, or this, they act like they love the person more than the other.
Mm.
It's like, yo, or you got a person who's saying, yo, you ain't crying enough. Like, God damn, like, I gotta
Mhm.
I gotta cry like you to show that I'm hurting. Like, damn, I ain't drink no water this week. That's why I ain't crying. I want to cry. I ain't got no, you know what I'm saying? I ain't drinking no
That's
water.
funny.
So I ain't got no tears in me. I want
Oh
to, but
man,
I can't. Or
that's
whatever the
funny.
case may be. But you got people who are looking at comparing, right?
That's
It's
so
always
true, man.
comparing. We got
That's
to
so
get
true,
out of
man.
that whole thing of, like, that's where the thing about judging people come from,
Mm.
bro. About, like, listen, put your little gaveling down, yo. For
Yeah.
real, put it down. Like, let it go. Like, yo, my man, like, Kenny J. Concrete, he talked about how he dealt with the grief and
Yep.
the getting over the passing of his wife. You can't judge him because he said, listen, I had to get over it because I had other things going on. But look, I'm dealing with it every day still. I just don't deal
Yeah.
with it the way that you may deal with it.
Yeah. No.
Then you got somebody who lost a dog
Yeah.
who ain't been to work in 2 weeks.
And they can't cope.
And
Yes.
I'm not saying that the dog ain't as
Yeah.
important. You get what I'm saying?
I
Like,
get
that's
it.
what I'm saying. I'm not saying one is more important than the other. I'm
Yeah.
saying at the end of the day, there are ways that people deal with things that are different than the other. Let's
Right.
just give everybody the same respect. And then
Mm.
look, there won't be no hate.
Absolutely.
But look, I appreciate it, man. Like, you even wanting to come on. So let's talk about your
Yeah.
music real quick before we get
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah. For
So we
sure.
talked about 2 titles earlier. So let's get
Yep.
into what the new project is.
Yeah, Back to Rhythm and Love is just what that is. The volume 1 is just an introduction to love for me, the way I see it. And as far as my artistry is concerned, that's just what it was. It's not what it was, what it is. Back to Rhythm and Love is just a combination of a different songs that's going to help you on your journey to finding what that is. It's a song on there called Protect Your Heart. Just a song just a song that I kind of generated from having a conversation for my daughter. A young man was interested in trying to kind of get down with her, and she was like, "Yeah, nah, you don't know my mother, you don't know my father, you don't know my favorite color. How you trying to get down and you don't know that? It's just protect your
Right.
heart. When you're out here in these streets, young ladies, make sure you protect your heart. That's first and foremost. Make sure you do that." That song was generated out of her, from her. Sweet Summer Day. It's just a nice, cool song talking about the summertime, all about love. Just take a look, listen at it. I guarantee you're gonna like it. It's gonna be, everybody can take a listen at it. It's really women driven. All because I like to honor them and I just kind of love them like that, to make sure they understand we support them. So I got that going on right now. I got the gospel records and stuff that I'm putting back out again. I got the Christmas record I got putting out in November. I got the volume 2 coming out somewhere around the first quarter, and I got a whole year planned out just putting out positive music.
That's dope. Hey,
Yeah.
look, the more the merrier, man. The world
Yeah,
needs positivity, man.
absolutely.
Everybody needs positivity. Music will never die.
Nope.
And music don't have no age limit, even though
Nope.
our culture try to age people out of music and
Yeah.
different things like that.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
use your gift, yo. Use your gift,
Absolutely.
because at the end of the day, like I said, you didn't ask for it, but if you could recognize that you have one and it was given
Mhm,
to you,
mhm.
then let's use it. Some of y'all
Use it.
got a gift that it may not be rapping, singing, and all this other stuff, but you may be a good thinker. You may be analytical. You may be a
That's right.
problem solver. You may be like whatever it is. You got a piece that could go to somebody's puzzle.
For sure.
If you're willing to be a part of the picture and not just look at yourself as the whole picture. Most
True.
people, that's what they do. They look at themselves as the whole picture versus saying, can I be a part of the picture? What
Mm.
piece of the puzzle do I fit? And put the piece together. I love music. I've
Yeah.
created music for such a long time. I have such a long, extensive catalog. There's so much stuff out there, and I love it. And it's something that is just a part of me. It's not like it's a thing to say, yo, yeah, man, let me try to be the next or this or that.
Yeah.
I've aspired to be so many different things when I was younger, but I'm so thankful that God has protected me from the things that I didn't know I would have needed protecting from, because
Mm.
I look at what the music industry is right now and the things that's going on with Diddy and everybody else. Yo, listen, it's a lot that people have to give up in order to
Yeah.
be this person who feels like my gift is only used
That's right.
or my gift is only important if the world sees it.
True. Very
And
true.
it's not that. You look. Sometimes you can affect one person, and that person could be the person that can affect the world and give you the credit, and then now it all comes back to you. I looked
Yeah.
at a thing that Eddie Griffin. I was listening to a clip of him, and he was talking about. He did a show in New Orleans, and it was a big Coliseum show, like a really big show, because he was on fire at that time. And the promoter came back there and said, "Hey, man, I got these couple of local rappers. Would you mind giving them a shot and opening up for you?" And he was like, "Well, look, you got to let them come back here. Let me hear them and see if they can spit." He said, "Because if they can't really get down, I ain't letting them open."
For
So
sure.
the two people that came back there was Master P and Mystical.
Mm.
So they came through, they did a little something for him, and he was like, "Oh, hell yeah, y'all good. Y'all go open up." Well, because they opened up for him in New Orleans, that was able to get their music, they song, the singles that Mystical had,
Mm.
moving around, boom, that was able to pop them off and start them on a tour just off that one show.
That's how it happens.
Then about 6-7 years later, Eddie Griffin said he's out. I think he said somewhere like Malibu or some shit. He's out there chilling somewhere. He said like, "Yo, Master P just showed up out of nowhere. Like, yo, fam, what's good? You remember me?" He was like, "Yeah, I remember you." Boom, boom, boom. He was like, "Yo, look, well, you looked out for me. I want to return the favor. So you got any scripts?" Fam said, "Yeah, he got a script." He came back with the script. Fam wrote him $1 million check for the script.
Bang.
Off of the fact that he gave him love and he was like, "Yo, because you did that for me, this is what I'm gonna come back and do for you." That he didn't do that for that, because remember, he was already on fire.
It's already
Eddie
popping.
Griffin ain't do that because he was saying, "Yo, he was just giving it." Right?
Absolutely.
So that's why I say to us as men, being able to understand the difference in masculinity when it comes to being a competition and being competitive.
Mhm.
Save that for the court, save that for the field, save
Yeah.
that for whatever. But when it comes to life, be willing to have open dialogue with your brother so you can help
That's
him be
right.
able to get a step up if you could get a step up, right?
Facts.
Because if it only is going to help you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So look, I appreciate the conversation tonight, bro. I'm gonna be
Absolutely,
honest with you,
man.
man. You know what
Sparking
I
it.
mean? And you being vulnerable enough to talk about the situations that you dealt
Yeah.
with that was that serious, because I have never had nobody that talked about it from that perspective, but I know it's people out here who feel that way because they appreciate life more than they suffer through death.
That's right. That's right.
Not that is wrong or more than the other,
That's right. Leave it
but
alone. Let them deal with it. Let them go through it. Let them process it, do it the way they think they need to,
And
I
just
mean,
be there for them.
and just be there for them. That's all. Don't give an opinion. Sometimes even in the process, I didn't want to have a conversation. I just wanted to be quiet. I didn't want to
And
talk.
that's another thing people don't respect about other people too.
I didn't want
They
to talk.
think just love bombing them with a bunch of it's gonna
Nah,
be okay and all that. Like sometimes they just need a moment to process because I
that's
know
it.
people who suffer from a loss and it still bothers them to this day. If a certain
Yeah.
memory or certain come up, and I
Mhm.
just be right there for them, praying for them on the low
That's right.
or whatever. You know what I mean? No matter how long it take, like take your time. Like you don't
Yeah.
ever gotta be ashamed because
And I
you
won't.
still you know that you
That's
dealing
right.
with something that like that from a
That's
loss. Don't
right.
ever be ashamed of that. You know,
I
just don't
won't.
stay there.
No,
Just
I
don't
ain't gonna stay
stay
there.
there.
Nope, I'm
You know what I'm
good.
saying?
Trust me, I've evolved. I've been so gifted and just blessed by different people that I met. That's just to kind of help me along the process. It's a process, but it's cool. I'm good. I'm good. I'm certainly not where I was last year, and I'm
Right.
okay. I'm good. I'm good, and I'm just grateful to God for that. That I'm able to kind of sit and just process it for myself. I didn't really want anybody around, to be honest, because you know how some people get. Yeah, I was there for him when he did this. I didn't want none of that. I just wanted to go look, let God help me through the process, because once He heal me from it or get me through it, I know it's gonna be a complete work. So I'm cool. I'm cool.
Yo, that's a good look. And let's do this. We
Oh
got to
yeah,
make sure we give a shout out to your manager, man. You know,
absolutely. Katrina,
Katrina
kick up your
Hertz,
heels.
yo, shout out to her because she the one that contacted me. We've
Yeah,
been back and forth through a little while,
yeah,
and she's very professional. She
yeah,
was on it too. Like we kept in contact in between the booking and
yeah.
everything, bro. So you got good representation,
Appreciate it.
which I feel like deserves a lot of respect because you
Absolutely.
know when it comes down to being an artist and being in the business and being able to focus on your artistry and not have to focus, you gotta know the business though. You don't
Got
get
to.
an excuse, right?
That's
But
true.
not having to actually focus on it, but be able to like manage it based
Mm,
on what is already being done, that is a blessing, bro.
yeah.
Like to have a certain like to be able to have pieces of a puzzle. I think that's the biggest important thing to be able to have pieces of a puzzle and they work together and they sync
Mm,
like a chain. Like,
mm,
yo, that shit is fly. So
yeah.
give a shout out to your manager
Yep.
because, like I said, she holding you down. She making sure everything is going on in the
Yeah.
background,
That's
making
what's
sure
up.
that you on point. Because even me and you wasn't connected on social media, she made sure everything was legit
Yep.
and you here
Yep.
and it's all love. And
That's
so
good. That's right.
I am, like, let's give it up to all the
Big
people who
shout.
take the time out to
Big
believe
shout.
in artists and
That's right.
believe in artistry, right?
Kick up your heels is the PR entertainment. Kick up your heels entertainment. Katrina Hertz and Rachel, they are the people that keeps this thing popping. Big shout to them. Thank you for all your support. If you're going to get at them, hit them. Kick up your heels entertainment. That's where you want to be for sure.
Facts. And I was like, because I even want to get a show with them if I can one good time,
Yeah.
man. So
Yeah.
let them know because we want to talk to it from that standpoint. Because
Yeah.
females in the business they deal with a lot. Because
Oh
female
yeah.
artists deal with a lot, and then females in the other end deal with a lot too. Because think about it. Like most people have or will try to make a person use their body in order to get certain things, man.
Absolutely.
And
We're
women
not
got to
doing that.
deal with a lot of different
That's right.
things. You know what I'm saying? To try
Absolutely.
to get you on as a man.
That's
Other
right.
men be, how the game goes. So I
I know how
want
the
to talk
game
to
go.
them. You know what I'm
True.
saying?
True.
I want to get into their mind and see how they
Yep.
navigating through that,
Yep.
so they can help other women get in the business. Because for men, you might think I promise you, yo, and this will go without saying. Yeah, you and your boys can get money together, but I promise you, with having the right women in your life, and I don't mean
Absolutely.
that in like personal or whatever. I'm
Look,
just talking about having the right women in your life. I
that's
promise you,
facts.
whatever you do with your boys, it'll quadruple
Absolutely.
with the right women in your
You
life, bro.
I've experienced it and I know that for a fact myself. So I get it. I understand and absolutely true.
Fam, and it's a fact. So look, so before
Facts.
we go
Yep.
ahead and give everybody your information so how they can find your music, so how they can
Yep.
check out your new project, their former projects, and
Yep.
just stay in contact with how you moving about out here, yo.
Yeah. All the music is on all of your digital platforms, or you can kind of contact the KennyJmusic.com. That's the website. You can contact Kenny Wilkins on Instagram. You can contact Kenny J. Wilkins on Facebook, and you can contact Kenny J. Wilkins, the number 7, on TikTok. All of the music is going to be on all the digital platforms. You can stream it right now. You can go on Spotify. You can go on Instagram. You can go on YouTube. Everywhere you can get it. So I appreciate all the support. Thank you for having me on, Rob, for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man. Thank you for coming on. Like I said, thank you for being willing to tell your story and
Yeah,
share it with me.
sure.
And all the people that jumped on tonight. To all of y'all that jumped on tonight, thank y'all
Yeah,
so much. If y'all watching
absolutely.
this on YouTube, just subscribe to the channel, man. Hit the notification bell. You know, like this video so it could get out there to more people, as well as you guys keep up with all the conversations that I have on, because a lot of conversations be very interesting. And I think that although we know that a lot of times when the guests come on, the supporters come on and they watch the show to support their guests. And I always like to say, you know, sometimes just come on back, because you just never know. Somebody on here may
Absolutely.
have something that can help connect you to the person that you came
Absolutely.
in to support. So thank y'all so much for watching tonight. Kenny J, again, thank
My
you so
man.
much for coming on, fam. We're
Thank you
going
for
to
having me,
connect.
man.
Don't go nowhere yet. We're going to talk
Sure.
a little bit offline.
Sure.
And yo, to all the people that watch tonight, double salute to y'all. All the people that's gonna watch the playback, y'all already know what it is, man. It's your boy Rob One. Each and every week I get up here and I talk to some of the world's most interesting people. And you can't forget this if you don't forget nothing else. Remember, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So